new series of Star Wars shorts called Tales of the Jedi has dropped on Disney+. So let's talk about it. Hi, my name is Sean, and I love to talk about movies and TV way too much. With that in mind, go ahead and join me down below in the comments section. Share your thoughts on Tales of the Jedi if you've seen it. Now, if you haven't seen it, and if you don't know what the series is, it is a set of 6 Star Wars shorts. Each of them are 15 minutes long. One of them is 10 minutes long, and there's 2 different paths. One of them is following Ahsoka Tano on her journey from being born, literally, to kind of seeing a couple episodes during her time and her ties to the Jedi. And then the other one is, and this one is very cool, it's about Count Dooku, and you see him as a Jedi on missions and kind of see how that fell apart, what went wrong, that he ended up on a very different side. And those are the 2 paths that they took. If you aren't aware, my feelings on Star Wars over the last several years have been all over the place, of just some of the worst Star Wars we've ever gotten, some of the best Star Wars we've ever gotten, some just really exciting, cool stuff of watching Mandalorian with my kids, and then just having my heart ripped out by some of these other ones that have come out. Currently, I've thoroughly been enjoying Andor, and I'm happy to say I totally dug Tales of the Jedi. Like I said, there's only 6 episodes. They're 15 minutes at most, and so the whole thing combined is about 90 minutes long. They are little standalone episodes, but in particular, the Dooku ones tell a story of his fall. And that you can just watch each one of them on their own, and you understand what's going on, but they're designed to really understand what makes Dooku tick and what pushed him to the dark side. And I thought that was just, between the 2 paths, I like the Dooku stuff quite a bit more than the Ahsoka stuff, simply because there's a clear arc. And for me, what I really enjoyed about it is that by showing Dooku's perspective on the Jedi, the Senate, and what was going on in the Republic at the time, it made the prequels better. There's certain things that I don't think were made clear in the prequels themselves, and I felt that these shorts gave us those glimpses that would make you see, why would Dooku turn to the other side? What would be the temptation to start working with Palpatine? How could this happen? Why would the Jedi Masters go so far off path? What's going on here? You see it. You see it better. And I know some of you love the Clone Wars series. I'm fine with it. I really dug the last season, but overall, I wasn't a massive Clone Wars fan. And for a lot of you, you would say that the Clone Wars kind of fleshed some of that stuff and answered some of those questions and stuff. For me, that's kind of what even just these 45 minutes of Dooku adventures filled out some details that were really important to me. And you also just get to understand him as a character much better. There's a lot of nice little cameos in there, some fun faces to get to see in the mix. And then even when some of these shorts take place, I thought was really cool. Oh, that's an interesting way to flesh some things out. The other side to it is you get the Ahsoka stories. They're a little bit more kind of scattershot. There's not as clear of an arc. You literally see her when she's a baby, and kind of the journey of kind of how they start to discover things about her. And then there's just a couple other adventures, some during her training, some other little glimpses in there, and they're nice little snapshots of kind of what were those pivotal moments for. And that's maybe the way to think about it. What are some pivotal moments that helped her become the hero that she was and led her to make certain choices. And you get to see that throughout these. And I don't think they're quite as strong, quite as compelling, but they're still nice, neat little stories. And at worst, if you have a boring one, it's no longer than 15 minutes long. So it never overstays their welcome. So you just get these glimpses. And I think that's what I liked about them. To where you didn't need to try and stretch out a story that was too thin. And that's what I felt like Obi-Wan was doing. It felt like a 2-hour movie stretched out to 6 episodes, and so it's just filler, fluff in there, and it just didn't quite work. They didn't have 2 hours of Dooku. We don't have Dooku the movie or the series, but we do have an opportunity to see those moments that shaped him and turned him from a Jedi to a Sith. That's cool. And with what they did here, where they dropped some of these stories, and there's like, without wanting to say too much about exactly how some of this worked out, but there was like one on Ahsoka where it ended, and then I wanted to go show them, like, oh, did you guys understand what was going on there? Did you see what that was referencing, where that tied in? They're like, what are you talking about? So I had to go and show them some stuff in Ahsoka's journey so they could see exactly how, you know, it tied into some other things. And that you can tell these little stories right before something, right after something, in the middle of something. You immediately go, what other characters could you do this with? And as much as I've said, like, I don't want every new Star Wars story to be about the same set of characters, I want to go off and tell new stories in new places. I think this is the way that you can do it without it, like, have an anthology series where you get, you know, little 15-minute little snapshots about your favorite characters. But we're not like, we don't need a movie about everyone. We don't need a TV show about everyone. Like, go tell new stories about new characters with the movies and the TV shows and things like that. That's interesting. And having little snapshots with these anthology shows and have opportunities to, like, get a new perspective on characters we've spent a lot of time with. And even with what they're able to do, like, you think you could tell little adventures about Luke Skywalker set during the original trilogy. Not doesn't need to be this gigantic earth-shattering story about, you know, that, like, now you know what really happened. No. But you could tell a little adventure. That's what they kind of set up with what they're doing with this. I really dug it. I think that they did that short series a year ago. There's the anime-inspired ones. There's some neat kind of neat things in there, but I like this one a lot more because it is canon. It is, like, fleshing out little details about things that actually do matter. So for me, I like this one a lot more. It's worth checking out, especially like Clone Wars fans, prequel era fans, must watch. Gotta check this out. There's some cool stuff in here. Let me know what you thought down below in the comment section. Check out my other Star Wars content right over there. Keep talking movies and TV too.